Ho, ho, ho. We got a new welder out here. A new welder and a new welder, huh? And he's gonna help us unbox it, so let's do it. Okay, ready? You want to help us pull this out? Hey, pull it out. Just throw that on the floor. You just throw that out there without falling down. Woo! All right. I'll pull this big one out, and then you pull the box out of the way. Ready? Hold on, let me pull this out. Yeah, yeah. Okay, pull that box out of the way. Yep, throw it on the floor. Throw that big box on the floor. You do it? Push it off. Good job. Should we cut this one open? Let's cut it open. What is it? I'll bet these people are wondering that too. ArcCaptain sent us another welder to have us review. This is their TIG. I believe it's a TIG 200, and it does AC and DC. So we're just gonna pull it out of the box, and then we'll get a better look once we get it out of here. Another box? What the? Okay, let's do the same thing. I'm gonna pull this box out, and then you pull this box out, okay? Okay. Let me see if I can get it out of here. Goodness, it's kind of tight. Boy, that's really in there. Woo! There. Okay, throw that box on the floor. Throw it on the floor. Oh, almost. There you go. Woo! What is it? It's a welder. So it's a TIG 200P AC/DC.
Dad, what is it?
It's a welder.
What's it?
It's a welding machine, I guess I should say. You're the welder.
No, I'm not welder.
You're a welder.
No.
Well, not quite, but you will be, right?
Okay.
Okay. If only it was that simple.
Huh?
Okay, now we're getting to the goods. You want to pull that out of there? Pull that out of there. Good, you can throw that in that box. Woo! You made it! Good job.
Then what is it?
Oh, goodness. There's something in that.
Something in that?
Okay. So there's our machine.
Dad, what is it?
It looks like it's basically the same footprint as the MiG 200.
Dad, what is it?
It's a welding machine. Pull it out. Pull that bag off there. Good job.
Dad, does it turn on?
I don't think that'll turn it on.
Who's that looking?
Yep. All right, so we got a manual and a warranty card in there. Let's open this box and see what's in here. I'm assuming it's the TIG torch and the ground cable.
Dad, what's this?
Yeah, oh, let's not play with those, okay?
Okay. Dad, what is it? Dad, what is it?
Okay, so we got a gas hose.
Dad, what is it?
It's a stinger,
Is it?
so you can stick weld. And there's a ground cable. So there's our TIG torch. So I'm actually pretty excited about this because it's got the finger control, and I'm interested to see how that runs. I'm hoping it's variable, But I've got an aluminum trailer here that a customer dropped off a couple nights ago, and it's got some cracked welds on the gate. So we're going to use this to do a hands-on test on that trailer. So perfect timing. It also has a bag in there that comes with some collets and cups, a diffuser, back cap. So we'll go through that. Comes with a wire brush, and that's pretty cool. It comes with a regulator. So everything that I just unboxed is everything that comes with this setup, with the TIG 200 setup. You get the stinger lead, the ground cable, the gas hose, the TIG torch, the wire brush, and the regulator if your child doesn't drop it and break it. There's a gas bottle that is strapped to the table here. I'm gonna hook up my gas hose. I am interested to try it on 110, but for the sake of the customer, because I want it to turn out as good as possible, I'm gonna run it on 240. So we'll go ahead and get this all set up, and then we'll come back to you and give you a look at what we got. You ready? Wait, now? Go. We'll play baseball. You done enough welding? You want to weld? No? No. You got me, okay? Hey, stay here. Stay here for a minute. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and power this on, show you what the screen looks like. Ooh. It's quite bold. Okay, so here's what we got. Looks like there's square wave and triangle wave. So you got two different wave forms you can pick from. We're going to stick to square wave. There's pulse, yes and no. I'm not sure how you would adjust it. I'll have to read the manual. We're not going to use pulse right now, so I'm going to leave it on no. There's 4T, spot, and 2T. We're going to leave it on 4T. AC, DC, and MMA. Mixed martial arts. Not really. So we're going to leave it on AC TIG. Alright, so I did get my torch set up. I'm not a huge fan of this size of cup. I prefer a stubby gas lens, so I'm going to have to get some consumables for this. Everything should be hooked up. So I've got two pieces of aluminum here. 1/8 inch aluminum plate. We're just going to do a T-joint, and we're going to go for it. So I'm going to grab a piece of 332 4043 TIG rod, and we're just going to see how it goes. Okay. So apparently it's button to turn it on, button to turn it off. And I think that's what the 4T is. I'm going to change it to 2T and see if that changes. So I'm just going to rig this up. I got a crescent wrench here, so I'm just going to rig that up. I don't know if you can change the frequency on it. I'm going to have to read the manual. So I'm going to put another tack on this other side, and then we'll be ready to let the big dog eat. I'm just going to go ahead and run a pass and see how it goes. Whew. I'm going to have to put my earplugs in. That's freaking loud. But it does weld well. I'm going to run another little one on the other side. Now that our material's hot, it's probably going to flow a lot differently, but I'm going to run another one on the other side here, and I am going to put my earplugs in. Sounds like it's higher frequency, so I'm going to throw some earplugs in and then go ahead and weld another one. All right, guys. So there was our first one. Turned out pretty good. But the second one was even better. It's not perfect, but that's me, not the machine. It's pretty impressive, really. And it's not a real heavy machine. It's pretty light. I'm pretty impressed so far. So the next thing to do is, I've got this project on this trailer I got to get done. So I'm going to get the trailer in here and I'll give you guys a look, and then we'll use the ArcCaptain to see if it can handle this repair. So let's do it. All right, so here's our trailer. Another aluminum ATV trailer. So here's what we got. These hinges down at the bottom are cracked. But I also noticed they didn't even weld here. So I'm going to weld those up. When you see a lot of these production trailers, they're cranking them out as fast as they can. So in a lot of cases, they're going pretty minimal on where they put their welds. So as I was sitting here checking things out, I did notice this weld's cracked, this one's 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 cracked. So there's quite a few cracked welds there that I'm gonna fix. If I don't do it now, I'll probably have it in here in a couple weeks again anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix those. Let me drop the gate and I'll show you the original reason that the customer brought it in. Okay, so you can see there's no weld here either. So I'm gonna hit that as well. But this is the reason he brought it in. Pretty good crack there. So I'm gonna have to gouge that out. I'm gonna grind that old weld off. And it's gonna be a little tight with that board right there. But I think we're gonna get away without having to pull the board. So, and it looks like it's opened up enough that I may have to tap that with a hammer to get it to close up and get it to seat back where it was originally supposed to be. Not super complicated, but having those boards there, that could make it a little bit of a treat. So I'm gonna get all set up, get the ArcCaptain over here, and once I'm all set up, I'll give you guys a look. All right, guys, so I'm gonna hit this with a wire wheel real quick, and then I'm also gonna take a flat disc and knock this old weld down. We're gonna fill it back up anyway, but this crack is spreading. It's about 3/4 of an inch outside the actual bracket. So we're gonna have to probably drill holes where the crack ends and weld it clear past. So just for strength, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start cleaning all this up, hit all my joints, knock that weld down. And I think I am probably gonna put a jack underneath that, put some pressure on it because I think it's gonna help close that crack up. So I'm gonna grab a jack, see if I can get all set up, put some pressure on that and see if it closes it up. All right, so I've got it jacked up with a 2x4 underneath it. It is putting pressure on the bracket, but it's lifting up the whole trailer and it's not really closing up. So I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna take and probably gouge that out just a hair. I don't wanna go too wide because these trailers really aren't built out of real thick material and I don't wanna sit and fight it. And being close to that board, I'm really hoping that that first pass works out. So because I'm a little bit nervous about the heat, I'm gonna drop it down to 100 amps. You're a lot better off starting off low and having to turn it up than you are starting high, blowing a hole through it, and then you gotta sit and fight filling up the hole after. So we'll go down to 100 amps and I'm gonna test it out and see what happens. I do wanna grab a drill first though and drill a couple teeny holes where the ends of those cracks are. I'm not going to grind it flat once I'm done because that's going to give it added strength. I'm just going to lay a bead from there to there and leave it. I'm a little bit nervous about the board. I'm just going to try to stay just this side of it. Oh yeah. You know, you'd think after welding for 15 years, you'd remember to turn the gas bottle back on. But it's just not as fun when you don't do stuff like that. Okay, so we got a good weld on our bracket there, but I don't feel good about up against the board there. So I'm gonna have to pull these two, not the whole board. I think if I just pull the screws back 2 or 3 rows and then wedge something underneath them so they're sticking up, just so I can get in there, because I can't get the torch tipped back far enough to where I'm getting this backside. I don't feel like it's a good weld. So I'm gonna hurry and pull these screws, see if I can get these boards up out of the way, and then we'll come back to you. Okay, same drill. Gonna hit that with a wire wheel, and then we'll see if we can't get one on the back side of that that's laying flat that I know is an actual fused weld. Okay, I feel a lot better about that. And I'll give you guys a close-up, but I'm gonna see if I can fuse this front corner too, because I can see the crack on this side right here. This side I can't, but I want to see if I can get it to fuse there. It's borderline just a little bit cool for this thicker stuff. I felt like I think this is like 10 gauge. It's running pretty good at 115, but I am actually going to turn it up to 125 and see if I can get this front corner to fuse. I need to grab another piece of rod. I'm going to do the same thing here, only I'm going to start in the corner and work my way out on that one. So we're going to hit this one now. Sometimes you can get into places with a wire brush better than you can with a wire wheel, so it's always good to have both. Okay, we're still too cold. I'm going up to 150. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to jump over. I'm going to do that other weld real quick in the same spot on the other side. I'll drop my boards, put the screws back in, stand the gate up, and then we can start working on all those other cracked welds and the 2 on the bottom of this. right, so we're good there. So now I'm gonna drop those boards, put the screws back in, stand the gate up, and start working on all these cracked welds on the backside. Be careful with this aluminum driving back in. You don't want to hammer too much, you'll strip them out. Okay. All right, so I'm counting about 12 broken welds here. This one here, it's not even attached. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit these with a wire wheel, grind them out, get them all prepped up, and then I'll come back to you guys. There's no point in you guys sitting through that. So I'll get it all prepped up, and then when I get them all prepped up, I'll bring you guys back and show you what I got. Okay, here's what they look like, all ground out, prepped up and ready to weld. There's a whole slew of them. There's a few of them over here. So I'm gonna get my torch pulled over here. We'll let the ArcCaptain eat and see how it goes. I am gonna clamp this down. This is all 1/8 inch material, it looks like, maybe 3/16. We'll try that and see how it goes. I'm just gonna tack these first and then pull the clamp off. Okay, so I actually just figured out how to change the hertz. You can change the upslope, the downslope. You can change the pre-flow, the post-flow, the frequency. So I just knocked my frequency down to 200 hertz. I really like how 200 hertz runs on that machine. Every machine's different, but I know that it was set at 240 and it was annoying. And it was hurting my ears. So I'm gonna knock it down to 200 and see how that sounds. I also increased my post flow to 4 seconds, and I can see that that's helping because my tungsten was turning gray because the post flow wasn't staying on long enough. You typically want to leave your post flow on until your tungsten's not glowing red anymore. You'll notice if you turn it up to where it's got coverage until it cools off, it'll stay shiny. You got pig boots? Woo! Cool. Come over here. Look at this little pig farmer. Show him your boots. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Okay, so we're gonna hit this spot down here that they never hit from the factory, and that's gonna give it a lot of added strength. So we're gonna hit there on both sides, and then I still got the crack on the bottom side over there I gotta hit. So I turned my welder up even more, so it's on 175 now. So we'll see how that goes. So it kind of smeared the crack, but you can still see a little bit of it. So there's one hole there and one hole there. So I'm going to weld from hole to hole, one solid bead, and that should give it quite a bit more strength. So we'll do that now. All right, guys, let's take one more look at what we've done to this trailer. So you can see we've got all kinds of repairs, fixed all kinds of cracks. We repaired the bottom of the hinges, which is the main reason that the customer brought it over. So I think you guys get the idea. This just shows you don't have to spend an insane amount of money to be able to get into welding. That's one of the best parts about this, is that machine right there. Virtually anybody could buy that welder. Anybody can get into welding. You know, if you've got a little garage and you've got a 120 outlet, there's some repairs that you could do with a machine like that. This just goes to show that you can purchase a machine like this at an affordable price. It's got a lot of competitive features on it, and you're able to perform repairs like I just did, and you know, you could potentially have yourself a little side hustle if you wanted. So I was pretty impressed with the way it ran. It's going to take me a little bit more time to figure out all the settings and figure out the upslope and the downslope. It really is pretty simple the way the interface works. I need to read the manual. But I was in a hurry tonight because I've got to get this out of here so that I can get the next thing in here and get it done. So this one's all fixed up. I can call the customer, tell them to come get it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys were able to learn something. I know I did. So thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. See you on the next one. You gotta stand right here so the camera can see you. Yeah, there you go. You play with that. Stand there and just look handsome, okay? Oh, what are you doing? You want to color? Tell me when you're done. Okay? What you doing? You're done?
What's this?
That's a regulator. Can I have it? Here, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to throw some earplug. Alright, so I'm going to throw some... Okay, so I'm going to do this same weld on that other one real quick, and then I'll put the boards back down, screw the... Goodness.